He was the most unlikable candidate in the history of presidents, and that's saying a lot.
But Biden says the same thing.
He's number two. When Biden says something, does anyone go like, oh?
Right.
No, they used to go, oh, what'd he say?
Yeah. What is happening in America? You can feel it. Something we've worked for and dreamed of for a long time. Donald Trump fell asleep at his own trial. And when he woke up, he made his own kind of history. The first person to run for president with 34 felonies.
Hillary Clinton paced the room like a volcano seconds away from erupting. Steam practically seemed to rise from her shoulders, while Tyrus casually dropped bombshell after bombshell as if he were reading a grocery list. Every revelation sounded dirtier than a toddler's sneakers after a full mud run. The tension in the room became unbearable. Hillary's reaction alone looked powerful enough to light up an entire city block with pure fury. And anyone watching could only wonder, what on earth was so outrageous that it pushed her this far? Buckle up, because this meltdown made every political drama look like a cheap soap opera.
Tyrus, and this goes back to 2016, people were reluctant to talk to pollsters and say, I like Donald Trump. And now, fast forward 8 years later, essentially they're saying, if you like him, you're in a cult. Do you really want to be in a cult?
If the cult that Hillary doesn't like.
Before going any further, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, because this story only gets crazier. Hillary Clinton was supposed to be enjoying her perfect post-political life, appearing on talk shows, sharing polished wisdom, and soaking up applause like a Broadway legend taking a final bow. But then came Tyrus, charging into the spotlight like a bull smashing through a china shop. He began dropping shocking secrets that sounded as if they had been pulled straight from a classified Area 51 vault.
Is it a red hat? I'll get one. Like, it's ridiculous that when the losing side or someone, she's just a very unlikable person and will say anything to get this attention. But here's the thing, it's changed. America has changed. We no longer listen to that stuff. Now when they say it, we go, that's why I didn't vote for you.
And honestly, if anyone was going to push Hillary past her breaking point, nobody expected it to be Tyrus. Not a senator, not an international rival, and definitely not a panel of friendly journalists tossing softball questions. No, it had to be Tyrus, a man who looks like he was engineered in a WWE laboratory and repurposed into a walking truth grenade. He never tiptoes around controversy. Instead, he belly-flopped straight into it with enough force to shake the entire room.
And we'll be inserting clips on her response to Benghazi several times throughout the interview. I want to show who she is.
She's worse than her husband.
A lot of people say that this was triggered by a YouTube video. This is her statement. I condemn in the strongest terms the attack on our mission in Benghazi today. The United States deplores any intentional effort to denigrate the religious beliefs of others. Our commitment to religious tolerance goes back to the very beginning.
Picture this. The world is simply minding its own business while politics drags along in its usual swampy mess. Then suddenly, Tyrus decides it's the perfect day to dig deep into the dirtiest secrets imaginable. Not the polished kind politicians can spin away with a smile, but the kind that leave permanent stains on reputations. These were the types of scandals that make carefully crafted careers smell like gym socks left too long after a 4th of July barbecue.
She talks, you kind of get why Bill did what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, it's kind of like, again, I don't condone, cheating, but
no,
that's your morning.
Yeah.
You gotta kiss that before you go to bed at night, and then you gotta sleep with one eye open.
Yeah.
And when those secrets finally hit the spotlight, Hillary's reaction was anything but quiet. Forget icy stares or polite rebuttals. This was fireworks-level fury, the kind of explosion that makes you wonder whether someone swapped her morning coffee for jet fuel. Tyrus has always had a special talent. He doesn't simply call things out. He detonates them with swagger and confidence that leave jaws hanging open across the room.
Oh, your buddy Epstein didn't off himself, and she has all this extra footage cut up in the closet? Like, I bet Bill has not had a good night's sleep for years. I mean, that's why he aged so badly.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this. Bill Clinton is only 37 years old.
Tyrus treats scandals the way wrestlers treat storylines, packed with drama, attitude, and just enough showmanship to keep audiences glued to their screens. So when he targeted Hillary, it wasn't just about exposing some dusty political controversy. It became a spectacle so massive that cable news suddenly looked like children's puppet theater. And Hillary absolutely hated it. After all, she spent her entire career trying to control the narrative, the speeches, the interviews, the image of always being 5 steps ahead. But Tyrus doesn't play chess. He throws chaos into the ring and watches everything explode. So when the secrets started spilling out, Hillary reacted like someone had flipped her internal switch from calm professionalism to full nuclear meltdown. You could almost picture her pacing, shouting, and waving her arms like both the director and star of her own political soap opera.
She's just evil. Like, there's nothing like her.
Why would she even tweet that? Like, don't you have
I think she just sits around in her evil lair. Whenever she runs out of Eye of Newt and Small Children to Boil, she then goes to X and just says whatever the most evilest thing. I think if the devil himself showed up, like, you'll never hear her being possessed by a demon. You know what I'm saying? The demon will walk in and the demon will be calling Dr. Phil. You don't believe the that I just saw, bro. Like.
So what exactly did Tyrus uncover? Let's just say it wasn't harmless bedtime gossip. These weren't rumors whispered over brunch with nervous laughter. They were the kind of allegations that drag old scandals out of the grave, dust them off, and shove them directly under blinding spotlights. Suddenly, the ghosts of Hillary's past controversies weren't quiet whispers anymore. They were marching front and center like a chaotic parade gone terribly wrong. And Hillary has survived enough scandals to fill an entire Netflix anthology series. That's exactly what terrified her inner circle: unpredictability. You can't script a counterattack when the other person refuses to follow the script.
Catfish. Well, they wanted us to believe it was a big naughty redhead that was going around, was going to ruin the world and do all kinds of bad things to us. Turns out the catfish was, hey, we don't boo here, but for this one time, you may boo.
In the end, her explosion became the real headline. Not the accusations themselves, but the spectacle of her reaction. Suddenly, it was less about truth and more about how loudly Hillary seemed determined to slam the door shut on those old skeletons. Nothing screams "I'm shaken" louder than a full public meltdown. And naturally, the internet devoured the drama like the finale of a reality television show.
Fitz. Hillary Clinton, you owe Russia an apology. And there should be an apology tour for lying to the American people and ruining 2 years of Trump's presidency and affecting elections with Russiagate, impeachment, and fake dossiers. Oh yeah, let's not forget the P-tape.
Memes flooded social media overnight. One side insisted Hillary's reaction proved she was guilty of everything imaginable, while the other side claimed Tyrus was nothing more than a showman throwing data around for attention and views. But while everyone shouted over one another, the real winner was chaos itself. Because in modern politics, explosions aren't just headlines anymore, they're entertainment.
I want you to remember what Donald Trump said about Hillary Clinton back in the 2016 debate.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
It's like, yeah, because you'd be going to jail.
Hillary Clinton has been called every name possible, dragged through endless investigations, and still managed to stand tall as if untouchable. Yet somehow, one oversized pundit with a flair for drama managed to send her into a pressure cooker explosion that revealed the psychological chess match happening behind the scenes. Because this story isn't really about facts, it's about perception. And in politics, perception becomes reality. The moment Hillary appeared rattled, people immediately began wondering whether Tyrus had struck a nerve.
Since they can't air the truth, they control the storyline, and they've lost control of it. From bloodbath to democracy. Last night, Hillary tried framing the election like this. Both guys are old, but you can't vote for the one we indicted.
What do you say to voters who are upset that those are the two choices?
Get over yourself. Those are the two choices. One is old and effective and compassionate, has a heart, and really cares about people. And one is old and has been charged with 90.